So we're well over 100 days now for the writer's strike. And as I said in the last video, the worst thing to happen to them was to have the actors join them, because then they start saying stuff like this: I've got to sell my house to make ends meet. Yet they fail to put the price of the house. I think it was said that it's like a $2 million home. And now, we talked about this on my live stream on Saturday, and it's probably a lot more than that, because it looks like a typical celebrity house. Big, big money, basically. And it's kind of sad when you make millions of dollars and you have to sell your house, and then you try to make that relatable to the average working American, where they make a couple $100 a week and are struggling, and you're saying you're struggling, you have to sell your $1 million house. That really doesn't resonate well with Americans. They're literally not going to understand your problems there. Billy Porter, I'm sure, a frequent visitor of the finest restaurants, the finest clubs, the finest clothing for him only. When you live extravagantly, this is what happens. Now, if Billy Porter was more of a modest man, he would probably still have a lot of his money, but that's not the case with Billy Porter. Apparently, pointing that out as racist, by the way, has nothing to do with his background. He's bad at spending money. How much do you think that suit he's wearing in this picture probably cost? I'm going to guess thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars. Living outside of his means. And he's not the only one that does this, by the way. This is most of the people in Hollywood. So the writer's strike is still going on. And, you know, their biggest problem? YouTube. YouTube does not respect the writer's strike. That could be a big problem for TV. Now, this is a little bit different than you're probably thinking it's going to be with this article, because this article isn't that, they're going to go to YouTube and work, or that creators don't respect the strike. No, the point is, this video is that YouTube is making Hollywood obsolete. YouTube is making Hollywood obsolete. It's also making the Hollywood star obsolete. Hollywood has been doing that to themselves for a while. Ever since these Hollywood people got on social media, they've been damaging Hollywood left and right. It really ramped up during the 2016 election. That's when it really ramped up, because they all became unfiltered, big time. And they ended up alienating a lot of people. And meanwhile, YouTube just keeps trucking along, and the content on YouTube just keeps getting better and better. And it doesn't matter. Whatever you're into, you can find something like this. So I'm really into vintage stuff, like vintage comics, vintage toys. A lot of content out there for me. Like this channel, this Toy Federation channel. Great channel. It's like Pawn Stars, but vintage toys only. And there's content like this for days on YouTube. You can find content like this. It's all over. There's something to watch on YouTube. And as soon as the YouTube people figure out how to make low-budget shows and movies that appeal to people, like, you know, there's even a movie called Spider-Man Lotus right now that's free on YouTube. It's 2 hours long. I have not watched it, but there was some good stuff that I saw just skimming through it. This is a big problem for Hollywood. Big problem. And it's going to continue to get worse. As this article points out here, the biggest thing is that most people just watch YouTube, and they're not watching it on their phones. They're watching it on their TVs. That's a problem. One of the number of crucial differences from its social media peers, which makes it functionally more like Netflix than Facebook or Instagram, its commercials more closely resemble those of television, and its ad breaks are becoming more like what we remember from linear TV, making it an easy switch for a traditional advertising industry seeking to explore digital. Thus, money pipeline that funded the TV shows the striking writers worked on is now increasingly heading to YouTube instead. So while they run reruns on regular TV, advertisers are pumping all of that money into YouTube. And that's not the only way YouTube is becoming television. Almost half of the U.S. for YouTube viewing now happens on TVs rather than phones or desktops. In fact, research agency Nielsen, that's the flagship gauge chart, as they put right here, now has YouTube as the single biggest channel in the U.S. with 8.1 of total viewing, ahead of Netflix and Hulu. That's really big. I didn't even know that until I was looking this over. That's crazy. I knew it was big, but that's all people are watching. And as soon as people figure out how to make cheap entertainment content that's not like, unscripted. I'm talking scripted content. TV shows, movies, all this can be done. In fact, most people have access to the tools to do it with. Your cell phone, if you have a newer one, the cameras and the film production of those can actually put out some really good shit. It's actually kind of crazy if you think about it. Everybody has the power to become a content creator in the side pocket of their pants. And I don't even think it's that expensive to buy a nice camera to shoot stuff. You could make scripted content pretty cheap if you really just sit down and you put your mind to it. And a lot of the times that stuff will be 10 times better. They'll never beat practical effects in my mind. Like the practical movies versus the all CGI stuff. Tell me which ones hold up better. CGI ages badly. I think it's a little bit better now than it used to be, but a really great example of this is Blade. And I love Blade. Okay, that Wesley Snipes movie is still a good movie, even with the bad CGI. But that CGI ending for that movie has not held up, especially in the 4K version. Go watch the 4K version. I still love that movie, but oh man, that final battle is eye-rolling bad. So yeah, this is a problem. And, they talk about monetization, revenue sharing down here. All of this is a big problem because as people make a big problem for Hollywood, because as people start to bring more money with their scripted content, they'll have to start small. But as they make more and more money, that's more money they can put into their shows and their movies, making them better and better as time goes on. You're going to eventually have a Spielberg-type person rise up from YouTube and really make some solid shit. It's already happening. And it's going to get worse. Like, this is Hollywood's worst nightmare. So, the strike, I don't know what they do. I mean, the biggest thing they're mad about is AI. Yeah, AI is going to send a lot of these people back to Starbucks, where they probably belong. And look, I'm not on the side of the Hollywood studios either. I don't like them either. But a lot of these people do make bad shit. The AI problem is always going to be a problem. True, talented people are going to always rise up and keep succeeding. There's always going to be a demand for a human element that's never going to go away. But the artists that just throw paint on a wall and tape a banana to it, right? They're done. Those people are going to end up having to go back to working whatever they can get a job in. People who write garbage like She-Hulk, they're going to be gone. They're going to end up working fast food or whatever they can get a job in. There's no demand for them anymore. AI can do their job. AI can write shitty content too. And that's what's going to happen. And it's just the way it is. You cannot stop the future. The future is going to roll. YouTube is going to smash them. AI is going to smash them. People are going to go to YouTube and do these small independent things, and they're going to rise up, and they'll always get noticed by the studios and grabbed up, and they'll be making big stuff. The human element is never going to truly go away, especially in art. It's always going to be appreciated, but it's going to take a more high a highly talented quality in an individual to get that up there. And that's just the way it is. So, let them fight. We'll see how it all turns out. But it looks like it's going to keep going. And when you have people like Billy Porter who have no idea how to save money, it's only going to get worse. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all this. I'd like to hear from you. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble and Locals, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my Locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my Locals.